When your client says, can you just send me a quick quote or could you send me over a proposal for your work? First off, hooray, your client is probably awesome. But you want to have your proposal pretty much ready to go and not have to rebuild one every single time, especially when you do a lot of the same work. So let's create a template for your written agreements. That's under workspace settings and then templates. Then you'll click on agreements. So when you create an agreement, this is either a proposal, a contract, or a quote. The main differences here are what comes in default. You can add project blocks and different things to each of these. A quote is not going to give you signatures. Instead, you'll see in a quote, you'll just get this accept button. And when you create a new contract, that's just going to come by default with legal language. So let's take a look at proposals. It's going to give you a full picture of all the things that are added in a proposal, quote, and contract. In both proposals and contracts, you get e-signatures. So here is your new proposal template. You're going to treat this just like any proposal. You can have static text boxes and you can add in your project blocks along with the fees and dates that are associated with that. So if you want to do this manually, you can do that by clicking on it and editing the project name. And you can click on setup fees or those three dots to set up the fees. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you are showing your client, hey, this is what I'm planning on working on. And here is how much you're going to pay me for that work. So let's just set this at a fixed price. Here are some automations as well that you can set up in this template agreement template. You can add these automations to automatically create this project once it is signed. And you can also automatically create an invoice. There's two ways to do this. You can create an invoice separately from this agreement, or you can include integrated payment so that your agreement, this proposal will act as both your proposal for what's going to work and their initial payment for what's happening. You won't be able to sign it without paying for it. That way you don't have to go chase down two documents. So right now I've got automations turned on. So it's going to create this project. However you want to do that, this is your template. Make it work for you. You can add in any tasks here as well as adding a one-time setup fee. Also, you want to make sure that you've got some legal terms. You can see here are other types of blocks that you can add. You can add just text, you can attach files, you can add images in the way that you would like to. Let's take a look at contract terms next. These are legal terms that were created with an attorney based on common requirements for freelancers based in the US, but always good practice to have your lawyer take a look at what terms you are creating. But this legal language will take care of each of these things. So you can set up your payment terms, any late payment here as well, when it goes into effect, any cancellation notice as well. You can check these boxes if you need to, including passing credit card fees on to your client. You can add in names as well. And so because this is a template, these are going to fill in with your client's name when you create your client and then create this agreement along with them. If you love legal language, you can convert these terms to editable text as well. The other thing you can add here is this integrated payment. And so this is going to automatically calculate based on the settings that you have here. So you can see I set my price here and I want 50% as my initial deposit. So you can see now that is $50, 50% of my 100. If you do want to add multiple projects, either you want your client to choose multiple projects or you want to give them a choice, you can always insert a new block and you can either add a manual fee structure with those deliverables or you can add from your project template. So I'm going to add my project template here and you can see, so now I want them to choose multiple packages or I want them to have all packages required. So you can see now that I have $100 here and $13.50 here, now my payment information has updated. If you choose multiple packages, that this will do the same thing. So when your client chooses their packages, this payment information will update. Same for if they have a single package, whichever package they choose, this information will update and will have them pay whichever deposit they have chosen. That's how you set up your template. It is a lot like creating an actual proposal. Then when you can save it and when it comes time to use it, you can look here in your template library and click on use it. You'll add it to whichever client you are working with, because there's no sense in an agreement if you're not agreeing with anyone. And then you can see here is that template that I added to this client. You can always edit that template as well before you click on share, finalize it, and send it over to your client.